Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a good day where you're at. And right now we are having a fun day where I'm at. So I'm at North Carolina at my parents' house, and we are down here at the creek. I used to spend a lot of time as a kid here at the creek looking for crawdads, sometimes finding snakes, all right, or stuff like that. Not really trying to find the snakes, but I came across them from time to time. About jumped on one time. Cool story there, different time. But we came down with the family today and we were looking for crawdads or crayfish. And we were seeking for them, and we found at least one. So he's a little guy. He's not a big one, but at least we found a little crawdad. There he is. And they're just cool. They're fun to catch, like little lobsters, what they look like. And they dart around in the water. If you ever try to catch them before, it's not easy. And they blend in with the mud. But this guy is, we've caught him, and we had success. We're excited about that. And I want to just make a quick little connection to our lesson we're looking at today. We were seeking for the crawdads. In our lesson today, we see that people are seeking after the newborn king. Two distinct people in particular that we're looking at. So of course you got the Magi, the wise men who are seeking for the king, born king of the Jews. They were from the east, most likely from Persia. They have kind of been thinking about this because of Daniel and so forth in the writings of his day. Maybe they read some of those or got information from those sources to look for this king. Maybe they were reading Numbers. I think chapter 24 talked about the star coming from Jacob, and they saw his star and they came to seek the king and worship the king. So these wise men, who are basically advisors to kings, think like Daniel in Babylon, they came to seek to find the king. Why? To worship the king, to bring gifts to the king, to bow down to the king, to submit in a real way. That was their motivation. And then once they got into Jerusalem, of course, everybody was all astir about these wise men being here. They drew attention, and of course, Herod heard about this. So Herod calls them in. We'll see more details in the lesson. And Herod says, why are you here? And they said, we're here to worship the king, born king of the Jews. And automatically, Herod is put on alert. He doesn't like that because Herod's thinking, most likely, he's king of the Jews. So he's worried about this. All of Jerusalem is kind of worried about this because they're worried about Herod as a result. And Herod tells some nice little sweet lies to the wise men. He says, hey, find this king, and what you do, tell me where he's at so I can worship him as well. But of course, we know from the full context of the account, that's not Herod's motivation at all. He wants to actually murder this king, this challenger to his throne. And so he's seeking the king, but for a totally different reason than the wise men. The wise men wanted to submit and worship. Herod wanted to kill and destroy so he could be his own king and keep his throne. So two very different responses to those seeking after the king. They could not be more different. And really, if you think about it, we see these same two responses to Jesus today. They're the only two real responses you can have to the message of Jesus as King, Lord, and God. Two responses. They are either you submit to King Jesus. He's God, you're not. You worship him, you lay down your life for him. Response number two, you reject his kingship, you reject his lordship, you reject the fact he's God, and you make yourself as your own God, as your own authority. And still, really today, those are the only two responses. We see those responses over with the wise men and with Herod. We still see them today. It's interesting. In Philippians, it tells us that there will come a time when every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus is Lord, that he is King. Bottom line, biblically speaking, everybody will bow the knee to Christ. The question is, when? And when you do it, it's so vital about when you do it because it makes all the difference in the world and for eternity. Submit now, give your life to him, be saved through Christ, eternity with him, or reject him, be as your own God. You reject him, you get the only consequence for that, which is life eternally apart from him in a place called hell, a real place of conscious eternal torment. And so, which one will you do? We all submit at some point. Let's do it sooner rather than later, all right? Hope you guys found that helpful and encouraging and challenging in some ways. Hope you enjoyed the crawfish who actually made his way out of the net. That's hilarious. I don't know where he went, but he's not on me. So you guys have a good day. Talk to you later on.